This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com. What's up, everybody? I'm HamHocks42, and this is some Play Q nonsense. Today we have a historic deck. Now, I've not been playing a lot of historic as of late. It is a format that is like very fast and very high powered, and I kind of enjoy brewing where things have a little bit more room to breathe. That said, there is an interaction that was just too tasty to pass up, and it's leveraging Moonmist. Now, this deck was inspired by a request that was sent in by Bunyip, one of our patrons, and just generally cool person. They were curious if we could break Etali, Primal Conqueror, but not in the way that we've seen Etali broken in many other formats, where instead of focusing on Etali's enter the battlefield trigger and finding ways to loop that and do, multiply it and whatnot, the goal is to actually flip Etali into Primal Sickness and win with infect damage. Because the backside is effectively a Blightsteel Colossus that's legal in all these formats, and if you can get to it, it's really freaking cool. So I was thinking, okay, great, how can we get to this? Well, we need to ramp like crazy or find some way to flip it without, ramping. And Moonmist came to mind. So Moonmist is an instant for 2 that says transform all humans. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures other than werewolves and wolves. You'll notice, Etali's not a human. Therefore, Etali will not be transformed by Moonmist. Unless we have a Maskwood Nexus live, in which case he will. So that's the idea. We want to get Maskwood Nexus live, stick Etali on the board, and then Moonmist. Well, if we're going to be doing that, and we have Moonmist in the mix, what other things can we do? So I grabbed a bunch of other transforming cards and put them in the mix, and we actually experimented with this live on stream, twitch.tv/HamHocks42, by the way. Plug. And we found a lot of cool interactions. So we have things like Docent of Perfection, which is a 5/4 flyer for 5 that it flips over into just an absolute machine. It's a 6/5 that says wizards get +2/+1 and have flying, which note, if Maskwood Nexus is live, these are all our wizards, or every creature we have is a wizard. So that has some potential. That said, there is a slight issue where Moonmist often triggers the Docent's ability to transform itself. So it will flip over, and then when Moonmist resolves, if we have the Maskwood Nexus live, then the final iteration is a human and will therefore transform back into the Docent of Perfection. It's a little awkward, but the plus side there, the upside of that card is absolutely worth the potential awkwardness of how we might stack it out. And at the end of the day, it's a large flyer that can help us survive. And we also are going to be ramping like crazy, so 5 drops are not that big a deal. We also have a 1 of Jin-Jitaxis, because this transforms into the Great Synthesis, which is frankly insane. And then we also have Vorinclex, with, again, the Grand Evolution being absolutely fantastic. And with Moonmist, the Praetors do flip into their Saga counterparts, which is pretty darn cool. We also have a Sika God of the Tree. Now, notably, a Sika is a modal card, and as a result, it has a back phase, but it does not transform. This is not a transforming permanent, and as a result, even if a Sika is a human, Moonmist will not transform a Sika into the Prismatic Bridge. However, a Sika's front face allows us to get a ton of mana, because a lot of our early creatures are legendary. And so those creatures will become vigilant and then be able to tap for colored mana. And we have Magda the Brazen Outlaw, as well as Rona and Jacob Hauken Inspector. Now, both of these cards are, in fact, humans that transform. So if we can get Moonmist live with either of these on the field, we're going to be able to get phenomenal value even without Maskwood Nexus, which is cash money in the bank. It's absolutely fantastic. And Jacob Hauken, by the way, this card is not particularly good on its face in a vacuum. However, if it is combined with Moonmist, it can get out of hand in a hurry. So if you play Jacob Hauken on 2 and then untap with Jacob, on turn 3 you can tap Jacob, take the largest spell in your hand, possibly a Vorinclex or an Etali, draw a card, exile that card under Jacob, and then play Moonmist. And as a result, you will convert Jacob into Hauken's Insight, which does kind of a little bit of a one with the multiverse or omniscience impression, where you could then free cast, like that turn, you get to free cast the thing you exiled. And so we can get a turn 3 Etali with Jacob Hauken and Moonmist. It's actually not hard. I've pulled it off a number of times in testing for this video. It's actually really cool. And you have complete control over it because it's two of those cards. Now, if Jacob gets removed, at any point, then that falls flat. But if they don't, we're going to be doing some silly nonsense, and it feels great. And then with Rona, Herald of the Invasion, she's going to be looting quite a bit. We have a lot of early legendary spells, and as a result, the ability to tap untap is fantastic. And if we flip Rona into the Talarian Obliterator, 5/5 trample that can free cast stuff when she gets hit, pretty fantastic. So it just also great. It gives us phenomenal value. You'll also notice we have a couple of other early tricks. We have Mox Amber in here as a way to kind of leverage some of our early legends in order to ramp us by a little bit. And then we also have Springleaf Drum, which combines really well with Magda, because that allows us to turn Magda into a mana dork that also produces the treasure tokens. And so as a result, you'll notice this deck is capable of ramping in on turns 2 and 3 in a way that is really impressive, and we can end up with quite a bit of mana, to the point where even if we don't get the Maskwood Nexus Moonmist action going, simply paying the mana to flip Etali is not going to be that hard in the late game. And then leveraging Jacob and Rona, we're able to filter our cards beautifully. Also, if Maskwood Nexus and Magda are live, as we're tapping our creatures for mana or to draw cards and discard cards, what we're doing is also producing treasure, and then Magda can use those treasures to go grab an Etali out of our deck, or a Docent of Perfection, or Jin-Gitaxias, whatever we're looking for. Because with Maskwood Nexus live, in the deck, these are all dragons. And if we don't have the Maskwood Nexus live, and we get the treasures down, then we can use Magda to simply go grab the Maskwood Nexus. So we can do a lot of cool things. There's a lot of intricacy and a lot of synergy within this deck, and I like it a lot. Now, there is one card that was present in some early versions of this deck that I really enjoyed and is generally very, very strong when combined with Moonmist. But it wasn't worth keeping black in the deck. And that card is Jaren Corrupted Bishop. I wanted to just do a quick call out. If you want to build a version of a deck like this, leveraging Moonmist, Jaren is, you knew a lot worse than Jaren. So dude's a 2/3 for 3, but if he flips, he becomes a 6/6 flying trample lifelinker that has the ability to sacrifice a creature and draw a card. That's fantastic. Like, this thing is just very, very strong. And, you know, a 5-mana investment to get Ormondal the Corruptor online, generally worth it. So there is probably like a Sultai version of this deck, leveraging Moonmist, doing some silly stuff where Jaren is more the focus. But that's not what the version is that we're working with today, because I want to get Etali moving and do some silly big stuff. That's the goal. So come with me, won't you, as we jump into the play queue? Because that's the thing, this deck also, I am not claiming this deck is competitive. It's really not. But we're able to do some really big, silly things. So let's jump into the play queue, doing some play queue nonsense here on the channel. Let's see what we can do. I see Magda, Asika, Moonmist, 3 lands. This has all the components for some pretty fantastic times. Hopefully it can come together. Let's see what we got. So the Moonmist is definitely for later, not quite for right now. Let's lead off with Magda. Now, opponent is playing white. I'm hoping to run up against some variant of the life gain deck. Those usually give us some time. Dawn of Hope, that gives me hope that that's exactly what we're seeing. So here is hoping. Again, hope. Now, do we attack with Magda here, or do we establish Asika? I'm intrigued by Asika, although, to be honest, we could attack and get Maskwood down, or we could attack, save the treasure, and get Prisbridge. You know what? I'm gonna stick to my guns. We're going to Asika, and Magda can now attack, which does not create the treasure, but that is okay. So Moonmist right now is just a fog. We need to make sure on the end step to tap Magda for mana. We can't use that mana, but it does produce the treasure, which is great. That's what we're looking for. All right. So we're off to a pretty good start here. All right, opponent's got 3 white. What do you got? A Roscoe Relic. Okay. Let's just go ahead and do this real quick. Alrighty-roo. Another Maskwood Nexus. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and shock this in. Our opponent's not threatening our life total yet, so there's no reason not to, honestly. Alright, we have Vigilante, so we can crash on in. Slap, slap. Cool. And we can then tap both Asika and Magda, produce more treasure, and then next turn we're going to be able to tap them both for mana, produce the treasure, and then use Magda's ability to go find Etali. So this, you know, things are looking pretty good. I'm liking our position here. Yeah, we're going to be able to tap them for mana, go find Etali, then Moonmist it, and We're gonna do the thing. If our opponent doesn't disrupt us, the thing shall be done, and it shall be glorious. Cool. So I'm gonna go find a basic plains, hit their land drop, get after it, dog. Cool. So here we go. Magda doing the things. And we're not even using the mana. Don't even need it. It is all good, dog. Now, once we get Etali live, homie will not have haste, which is notable. So at this point, I'm not too worried about that part. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. We can do all the things at instant speed. So let's see how they handle this. They are in white. They have 4 mana open. Well, actually, they have 5 mana available at this point. So, and they have no creatures online. The likelihood of a board wipe is pretty decent here. All right, so Arboreal Grays are coming in tapped. That's kind of a non-issue. It is what it is. On their end step, things are going to get nutty. I just hope that we can... I hope our board survives. That is ultimately the thing. Cleansing Nova. They're just destroying creatures here. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and tippity tap to add mana of various and sundry colors. And I'm going to go ahead and... Now, this is a destroy effect. This is not an exile effect. So as a result, I'm going to use Magda. We're going to lose the treasures. Notably, the backside of Etali is indestructible. Keep that in mind, everybody. So here comes Etali. Let's see what we hit. Shalai's kind of a non-issue. Yeah. But there's Mox Amber. Might as well grab Shalai, kick it, why not? And then before that, we just Moonmist real quick. And yeah. All those things die. And we're just sitting with a fully loaded Etali Primal Sickness. Boop. There we go. Check it out. We did the thing. I see 2 lands. We're going to have them untapped. We're going to be able to get Jake online at an appropriate time. Although I might lead with Rona because we don't have the Moonmist. Actually, these lands are really nice. I like getting the Triome into the check. So yeah, we're going to start with Rona because Rona's going to be able to tap, loot, try to find our 3rd land, and then we can play out Jake, or we could rock the Mox Amber. Oh yeah, and that gives us a loot too. Holy crap, that's good. I always forget about that. Fortunately, the arena stops and lets me like do the thing, which is really nice. All right, so yeah, there goes Azika. There she goes. There she goes again. I'm gonna go ahead and shock this in. We're gonna get another Rona activation. We're gonna go ahead and let the land go this time, because here comes Azika, which untaps Rona. See where we're going with this. All right. The amount of Rona value we have already gotten is pretty insane. All right, and then we're gonna tap this for a Baloo, and then play out Jake, and Rona untaps. We can even attack here because Vigilance. This is kind of silly, if I'm honest, and I also love it. So yeah, we attack, and then we can even get one more loot before our next turn. Holy cow! Like, this sequence, the stuff that we've got going on here is officially ridiculous. Our opponent now has 2 lands, both of which are artifacts, which is very notable. You know, we might be looking at an animate or Ensoul artifact kind of situation. Might end up being a pretty powerful deck. We'll see what they got. Show me what you got. Cleansing Wildfire? Yeah, that's a classic way to ramp up. I dig it. Get after it, dog. Let's go ahead and take a look at some more cards, because we can. Etali, you beautiful son of a gun. You know what, Etali? Don't you go anywhere. I'll dump the redundant Ronas. Because we have 4, 5, 6, 7. We have Etali mana live right now because of Azika and Mox Amber. We have 3 lands down. We're about to drop a 7-drop like it ain't no thing. Because it's not. It is not anything. It ain't a thing. Things? It ain't. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and shock this in just to make things a little bit easier for us, because screw it. And then, actually, wait a minute. We can flip Jake here too. I think I'd rather do that, honestly. So let's attack, because homie doesn't have haste. So let's get in for the 2 damage while the getting's good. All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and Jake's gonna do his thing. We're gonna tuck Etali under Jake. We then pay the 6. Cool. Again, ain't no thing. I'm gonna get that mana really just because I can. I don't know that I have a good use for it. But here comes Etali on turn 4 with all this other crap that we have going on. This is strictly unfair, if you were curious. Kids, sure. And then we have a Moonmist, which is gonna flip Rona. That's the only viable target for it, because we don't have the Maskwood Nexus live. But if we don't use it, we lose it. So might as well get an Obliterator online. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that emblem. There we go. You gotta deal with Gideon now, opponent. What you got? And so now, with Hauken's Insight, at the beginning of our upkeep, we exile the top card of our library face down, and we can just free cast it. So basically, just whatever the top of our deck is, we just get it for free now, which is kind of great. And yeah, I can't blame the opponent. I would probably be scooping here too. This is nuts. If we draw any of our 2-drops, this hand becomes pretty decent. If we don't, this is really bad. So this is pretty risky. Yes, this is a very dangerous keep. But like I said, if we find a Rona or a Jake, all of a sudden, things are gonna look pretty good. It's not looking good so far though. All right, so here comes Springleaf Drum, and I might as well throw the Mox Amber here. So Phyresis Roach, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, insects you control, and insect cards in your graveyard, hand, and library perpetually gain Toxic 1. That is upsetting. Yeah, so this is some kind of insect toxic deck. This was not the matchup where we keep a sketchy hand. This was not a good choice, for the record. But here we are. All right. Moonmist is a fog in this situation, so at the very least, it can buy some time. But you'll notice the Phyresis Roach itself, toxic stacks. So just the fact that it just perpetually gains more toxic every time it hits is kind of silly. Like right now, this is a 1-drop and a 2-drop, and they're representing 4 poison damage online right now. Like, I have to fog this. It totally sucks, but I kind of have to. So here we are. Because neither of those are wolves and werewolves, so we're going to prevent the damage. Yeah. So I should have mulliganed this. Keeping this was a 100% mistake, and I'm paying for it. We happen to go up against a fast deck. It is what it is. You know, the mulligan decision is the single most important decision you can make in any game of Magic the Gathering. It can oftentimes decide whether or not you win or lose, and it's only one decision. It's kind of amazing. Like, honestly, if there's any one thing that I can teach a new player or tell a new player to like really focus on to up their game, it's mulligans. If you get that right, you're gonna win so many more games. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that ain't it. So, all right, opponent. They're gonna be able to finish me off here because this having double strike, it's gonna apply 2 poison, and that Roach is now applying 3 poison when it hits. Rock Priest, that's unnecessary. And they don't know that I don't have removal, but still, yeah. So they're gonna send it in and maybe have some tricks. Sure, add a little bit. Why not? Yep. No bueno. Bad mulligan decisions. They get you. You're debating on what else to do. Just let it through, man. See if I have a response before you play any tricks. No, you just need to get a little bit more now. Okay. Sure. 3 lands, Mox Amber, Magda. This is a go. I am very hopeful that we can find some other early goodies and really value pop, because by this point, y'all have seen what this deck can do. It can get nutty. So hopefully there's much nuttiness in our future. All right. Yeah, so next turn we got Magda, and then with the Docent. Oh, actually, wait a minute. So we got Magda right now, but we can get a Sika next turn, which is delightful. So I do need to shock that in order to take advantage, but that's okay. Groovy. This, you sack it, she's not only forever, the player discards that card, actually don't have sorcery. That is unfortunate. I don't love that. And they're probably gonna fire it before too terribly long. It's only a sorcery though, which is good. So we could have attacked into it and made the trade. Honden of Knight's Reach, okay. They really want us discarding stuff, it would seem. Which, alright, fair enough. They're not attacking, okay. And we've got more lands than we know what to do with, so that's good, honestly. I'm cool with that. This is gonna go ahead and be a blue. No big deal. Here comes the Docent. And then, let's see, I might as well attack for 1 here. Doesn't really do much, but it's also just a free roll, so why not? All right. Yep, so I need to discard a card. Oh no, whatever will I do? Miss out on 1 land and not really care. Yeah, next turn we've got Magda live, and she's going to be able to, with the treasures that we generate, she's going to be able to go find the Maskwood Nexus, assuming she survives. Our opponent's on mono black. That is not a given. Second, non-token creature, you say. Okay. Honestly, that's kind of a tough call. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tap this for... Oh, well, duh. Never mind. I don't have the... Yeah, we're going to sack Magda because I have a spare. We don't have the Maskwood Nexus live, so of course that doesn't make treasure. Don't mind me. I'm getting used to the nonsense that I've been doing here. So they didn't fire the Pilfering Imp here, which I'm kind of surprised by, because that could have been a good opportunity. I'm not mad, just surprised. Okay, cool. And with that, let's go ahead and send the Docent of Perfection as well as the Sika in. Chip in for a bit of damage. And the Moonmist, I'm gonna go ahead and fire it on their upkeep because we're gonna have to discard it anyway. And so this makes a little dude. And it's gonna transform Rona. And prevent all damage that the Pilfering Imp was gonna deal this turn. Not that that's necessarily a big deal, but still. It's nice. But yeah, just like that, we've got some stuff online. Turgid, Godfright, sure. Hey, that is a heck of a card. All right. The Spring Leaf Drum. Excellent. So we can send these in pretty comfortably. Let's see if anything gets blocked. Pilfering Imp chumping the Docent. That makes a lot of sense. Slap, slap. All right. So I got nothing to discard. We got Jazz Hands. Let's see, Eldritch Reborn, sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. Hey, little 1/1 wizard dude. Been a pleasure. Hardly knew ye. All right. Let's see, does Turgid want to attack? I highly doubt it. Yep. Go ahead and tap here. Just make a treasure real quick. The Misty Moon. Yeah. So we were going to attack there for 10 and force a block. That was going to be really unpleasant for our opponent, where we would have been able to cast one of their 2 cards. And honestly, actually, if we full swung 7, 8, and then there would have been no trample damage, but it would have forced the block on Rona specifically. Oh no, that would have been lethal. Never mind, they're at 8. I was thinking they were 10 for some reason. Yeah, we had them. This hand is a no-go. I'm learning my lessons. You know, Springleaf Drum, Maskwood Nexus, and our one of Jin-Jitaxis. Like, it's cool, but it doesn't do the early stuff that we need. And this actually looks much better. Much better, because we can use Magda to ramp into Klex. In this situation, I think I'm going to let the Docent of Perfection go, even though that card's pretty darn good, honestly. But if we have super ramp, we obviously want to be able to play Etali. We're going up against mono blue burn. This is dedicated mill, it looks like. I've seen this deck a lot as of late. And it's funny, I like mill strategies in general. I think they're actually pretty fun and a kind of a fun, unique, different way to play the game. But this particular build where it's just, I just play all the things that say target player mills X cards and just kind of hope for the best. I don't know.
I don't love it. I much prefer mill decks to kind of have an interesting angle. That said, I assume that's what's happening because that's what I see with Overwhelming Apprentice very often, but I could be proven wrong here. I often am, believe it or not. Yes, I'm a YouTuber who makes Magic the Gathering content, and I'm going to be the first to tell you I am often wrong. That is absolutely true. It just is what it is. All right. So the Overwhelming Apprentice can trade for Magda, and they are not going to care at all. Okay, it looks like I was wrong. This looks like some kind of Dimir midrange. I was very surprised to see Apprentice in the mix. Let's see. They may have... mill may be their strategy. Like, they might have... Yeah, no, Teferi 2... Yeah, no, they're trying to mill. All right. Well, let's see what we draw into. Honestly, I think I'm still going to attack here. Oh, that Mox Hammer would have been nice. So, this can come in tapped. Gonna go ahead and swing. We could Moonmist fog this just so Magda survives this exchange. Because I can't imagine they don't block here. But in all honesty, I also kind of don't want to waste a Moonmist here. Is this a waste or is this 10,000 IQ play? I'm not sure. Honestly, with my luck, if we did that, we would draw Maskwood Nexus, and I would feel like an absolute idiot. So I'm gonna trust my gut. I'm gonna save the mist, especially because we've milled 2 others at this point, which really bites. Yeah, so Cloudkin Seer with Teferi's Tutelage live. Here we are doing the thing. Yeah, so we're gonna have to collect, and honestly, at this point, I hope we have 2 decent forests. We have a lot of forests in here, so that's probably not gonna be an issue. All right, Clexy, you so sexy. Get on out here, buddy. What you got? So let's go find some lands. I'm gonna grab a Triome. Honestly, the Triome in the basic has been my go-to as of late. Because we don't have anything that fetches basic lands. I mean, we might get hit by like an Assassin's Trophy or a Field of Ruin or something like that. So honestly, it's probably a good idea to keep the basic in there and instead grab, I don't know, like one of the shocks. But especially against mono, honestly, against mill, shocking lands in is not an issue. So that was probably what I should have done, but whatever, it's fine. Rune Crab, sure. So next turn, we're going to be able to shock in the breeding pool and get the Dozen of Perfection live, which is fine. Yeah, so we're just continuing to get milled. We're at 35 cards in the graveyard. They're just going to murder Vorinclex. Our opponent is actually running murder. If we don't win this game where our opponent is running cards like murder, I'm going to be very disappointed. But these things happen. Yeah, honestly, it's just, and it's not that murder's a bad card, it's just been outclassed by dozens of other options. You know, like there's no reason why that can't be Hero's Downfall. Like it is just easily better. And even then, there are probably other options that are better, Baleful Mastery and whatnot. Winged Words, yeah, all right, cool. We're getting milled, it's happening, yay. Honestly, this deck would be a lot less, I don't know, I don't want to be too hyperbolic or anything. This deck would be more fun to play against if it had, or if the animations were just a little faster. Like the amount of time it takes to mill cards in Arena is, could be better. Yep, so yeah, just mill for sure. We're at 24 cards. We have the Dozen of Perfection online, which is fine, but our opponent's at 21, so. Yeah, Overwhelming Apprentice coming on down, more mill. You know what, I think I don't like playing against mill. I keep, like, I want to defend it, I do. But the more I play against it, the less I like it. So maybe I need to just accept the fact that I'm not a mill fan. All right, so Rona, Herald of Invasion into the Springleaf Drum. We'll go ahead and rock out that little guy. The Dozen to Perfection coming in, gonna get chumped. Sure. Makes sense. But the Dozen survives, which is good. It's generally a good thing. Also, the Springleaf Drum alongside Rona is pretty fantastic. I'm definitely a fan. We have another Ruin Crab, cool. I wonder if we should have a one of Guy's Blessing. Because I feel like I get paired up against this deck pretty frequently. It seems to be fairly popular in the historic play queue. Probably not so much on the ladder. I would be very surprised if people are holding it down on the ladder. Although if you're playing mill on the historic ladder and you're winning games, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. All right. So we could Moonmist here. We don't have the we don't have the Maskwood Nexus, so we're not about to flip stuff really. We only have 13 cards left in the deck. We may not even have it. So this would just flip Rona, which would produce a pretty good threat that our opponent would have to deal with. So honestly, I think I'm going to do that. We also then poop out a 1/1, which is kind of whatever. Well, 3 more wizards. We have 2. Rona herself is a wizard, which is nice, but well, she won't be in a second. All right. So here comes the Misty Moons. Honestly, this is just to get another decent attacker online is the goal. All right. Yeah, we're transforming humans. We have enough mana. They're gonna, didn't say please that. Okay. Sure. That is annoying, but there's not much I can do about it. I'm not gonna activate Rona, even though I get the untap here. Strictly because that digs us further. And at this point, especially with Etali about to resolve, I don't know that we can afford that. I'm gonna just play out the Merfolk Secret Keeper. I'm not gonna do any mill action. This land is a dead card though. Do we? It's not smart, right? 8 cards left. Honestly, we're a Maddening Cacophony away from being dead anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and fail to find. Keep them all in the deck. Everything in the deck. All right, I'm only gonna attack with the flyer at this point, just because we wouldn't kill anything anyway. So if they have a Maddening Cacophony or like a Tasha's Hideous Laughter, we're probably just dead. Honestly, at this point, they have 2 Ruin Crabs and a Teferi's Tutelage. Even if they play a land, we're probably dead. So it is what it is. That said, if they don't, we're gonna be able to Etali flip and punch really freaking hard, which is nice, but not enough. You know? Yeah, now we're dead. Yep, they just hit their land drop. That was that. So yeah, Ruin Crab just does the thing and we get milled out. So here we are. And this game was literally twice as long as every other game we've played. I'm gonna go ahead and go out on my own terms with this draw. And there we go. Yeah, so hooray? Not really. All right. We got Jake and Rona in the opening hand alongside the Mox Amber. Yes, yes, with a side of yes. Did I mention the yes, by the way? Yes, let's go. All right. This is about to get sick. And I am excited. So I think I want to lead with Jake, although Rona, well, no, I need to lead with Rona. That's the responsible thing to do at this point. And if we sandbag the Mox Amber, we can actually get an untap on Rona, which is pretty fantastic. So yeah, if we play out Rona on 2, hold the Mox Amber in our hand, then on turn 3, we can activate Rona, dump whatever we don't need by then, play out Mox Amber, and just do it again. So I'm gonna lead off with the World Tree because I can. And despite my better judgment, I'm just gonna leave that Mox Amber just chilling. As much as I wanna put you down. Don't worry, but we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, Mesmericorp, more mill. All right, cool, yay, we're having fun, damn it. All right, pardon my language, but here we are. All right, Rona, the Herald of Invasion. Cool. So yeah, more mill. Delightful. Urborg Lurgoyf. That's okay. That's interesting. Has the potential to be pretty darn powerful. All right, so let's go ahead and do a quick little draw discard. I don't need redundant World Trees, so get that out of here. We can also then just rip Mox Amber. We get the untap, which, yep, that mills my Etali. Cool. This is fun. Have I mentioned we're having fun? Because, damn it, we're having fun. Alrighty-roo. I'm gonna let the Steam Vents go. And then we can shock that in, establish the Nexus, but honestly, I'm more interested in getting Jake online. And we're still flooding out like crazy, so let's just sit tight. Now our opponent also is playing what looks like a 100-card deck, or they have at least 100 cards in that deck. They just, of course, milled 2 Urborg Lurgoyfs off the top, despite having an Urborg Lurgoyf in play. Because, sure, that is likely to happen, I guess. All right, Mire Triton, there we go. There we go again. Lurgoy could swing in here. That is a thing. It is going to. Come on in. Welcome to my face. And I am going to keep drawing, even though I know this is going to result in me continuing to mill. I don't need 3 of those Rootbound Crags. So they're going to go bye-bye. And that is what it is. All right. Not seeing any Moonmist, which I could really use right about now. All right. So the Maskwood Nexus is live and online. Just going to go ahead and drop the Springleaf Drum. And I'm just going to do this right now. There it is. Found it. You'll love to see it. Boom, baby. All right. So this turn is kind of a wash. At this point. We're going to get slapped. It just is what it is. The following turn, however, we're going to have the fog open, which is pretty great. And this is going to turn our whole, this is going to flip our whole squad. Which honestly kind of just is what it is. Alright, yep. 7 damage, you got it, dog. Get in here, welcome to my face. Alright, we're down to 36 cards in our library. Honestly, I am not worried about the mill at this point. That just is what it is. I'm gonna put the breeding pool under there, and let's go ahead and Mesmeric Orb mill. What do we got? It really doesn't matter. I don't have any way to use my graveyard. It just is what it is. Now, it would be very easy for me to put like 2 guys' blessings in here. I probably should, honestly. That would make a lot of sense. All right, let's go ahead and tap Jake. We found a Magda, which is pretty rad. That actually makes me very happy, if I'm honest. All right. Oh, we can flippity flop this. Do I want to? No, not yet. Let's go ahead and rock out the Magda. Let's go ahead and get our draw discard on, because we can. Honestly, it's really just that simple. Because we can. All right. This is going to untap. Magda's live. We're going to go ahead and tap Magda to produce a green off the Springleaf Drum. And that gives me the mana for Sexy Klexy. Get on out here, Klex. Love you, buddy. Boom. Big dog in the house. And I apparently haven't played my land yet, so that's nice. You'll love to see it. All right, I'm just gonna chill. So Mesmeric Orbs are doing stuff. I mean, stuff and or things getting done. At this point, though, I mean, Rona could take one for the team, and I'm not too upset by it. Klex flipping would be terrifying for our opponent, and that's kind of fun. So I'm definitely into this. We also have the Maskwood Nexus and Magda live, so actually, wait a tick. No, we don't quite have enough to generate 2 treasures, unfortunately. That'd be amazing. But yeah, they're just gonna send them all. Send in the various and sundry clowns. Yep. So everyone's gonna take one for the team. Let's go ahead and get our loot on. What do we find? This also, yeah, this produces the treasure, which is nice. And yeah, we don't need Springleaf Drum. Cool. I wonder, do they have some kind of wrath or something? Is that what they were? Because the full send was interesting. Oh, to gain 1,000,000 life. Okay, yeah, that's... Yep, you can do that. That does qualify as a thing, it turns out. Alright. Yeah, so at this point... Actually, wait a minute. Collects... The first mode on collects mills 10 cards. I can't afford to do that. We've already reached the point where we're too far gone. Dang. It's a bummer. Stupid Mesmeric Orb. Stupid sexy orb. Alright. Well. Gonna do the thing that I can do. Pow, pow, pow. Yes, I'm sure. Silence you, just do it. We only have 11 cards left. I honestly don't even know what we have, but I'm gonna go find something. Bottom line, I'm gonna go find something. see what we got. Hopefully we have an Etali left. That would be ideal. We do. Jin is also here, which could be incredible, although that draws a bunch of cards, so never mind. Yep. Etali in the house. Let's see what we spin into. I'm gonna decline the Undead Butler because that actively mills us more. Asika's not bad. I think I want the Priz Bridge though, because Prismatic Bridge might be able to find the Prismatic Bridge might be able to find our Ginger Taxes, because at this point we don't have much left, so whatever grabs is probably gonna be good. I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So 7, 8, 9. Never mind. We're dead on the untap. That's unfortunate. Yep. We're dead on the untap, but we get to do the thing. We get to do a thing that's pretty fun. Boop. Oh, and we're gonna mill ourselves even more with that thing. So cool. But yeah, Goyf is gonna bite it. And if we had one attack, Etali would have had it. Mesmeric Orb did us in. That's ultimately what did it. Which, I mean, it has that potential. And mill is apparently something we're weak to. So, honestly, I should be aware of that. I should just add Guy's Blessings to the list. So, if you copy this list from the description, I would recommend putting in at least one Guy's Blessing, if not two. That way, if you draw into one, you can literally Izona. That is unnecessary. It does create the blockers for Etali, but I'm dead on upkeep, so it straight up doesn't matter. But let's just see what we spin into, because it's fun. Oh, never mind, I don't, because, yeah, active, non-active. Yep, you get it. Damn you. Yep. Or no, we'll spin it to nothing on both of those. Unfortunate. All right, it was a fun idea, though. But yeah, the Mesmeric Orb did the thing, and again, like I said, the mill animation, it would be nice if that was a little faster, because I don't mind getting milled out. It is annoying how long it takes. I see a Springleaf Drum on 1, into a Magda on 2, into an Asika on 3. That's just pretty. All right. Yeah, this is looking delightful. All right. Honestly, sometimes the deck just is like, yo, man, I saw that last game. You could use a little bit of love, so here you go, man. Here's the perfect starting 7. And with my luck, our opponent's gonna like disconnect now. And this isn't the perfect starting 7, but it's pretty fantastic. And with the Springleaf Drum and Magda, we're able to get a Asika online very, very early, and then also cast out a Priz Bridge. And getting a Prismatic Bridge online is potentially just the best? Question mark? Like, it's just very good. So I'm going to lead off with the Forest and the Springleaf Drum. And here we go. I'm leading off with a Schwamp. All right. Paying 2 life. Magda's going to come down. Let's see. No Fatal Push. I'm delighted, surprised, and a tad confused, but no complaints. Beside Who Endures coming down as a land. That is promising. All right, so let's make sure to tap Magda, get the treasure while we can. At the moment, the getting is good, so let's get to getting. All right, Bowmasters. Yeah, there. That's why. Yeah, good old Bowmasters. And by good old Bowmasters, I mean those freaking Bowmasters again. Yeah, that's a card I'm very sick of, but it is what it is. All right. Let's go ahead and draw. We got a Moonmist, not by Fago this time. And, although that's also delightful, I highly recommend. If you're not sure what the heck I'm talking about, check out some various regional pops from places that call them pop. Yeah, Fago, good stuff. Highly recommend. All right. So we got Nazgul, Ashnaz, and whatnot. It would be very nice if, well, I mean, land is good. We need land. We don't have the colors necessary to get the Prismatic Bridge live at the moment, which is a little unfortunate. But we can Klex, which is pretty tight. And fun fact, Vorinclex currently has Vigilance, which is just neat, honestly. It's not, like, amazing per se, but it's just cool. Let's go. Honestly, I might just go for the flip next turn. So if we shock in Breeding Pool, that'll be 5, 6, 7. No, we need 8. Dang, so we're not quite there yet. But that's okay. Honestly, with the Sika down, Yeah, that Nazgul, the Ring Bearer Nazgul can attack freely here, which I don't love, but there's nothing I can do about it. So here we are. They're gonna Beside who endures a Springleaf Drum? That is an interesting choice. Because we ramp. And that's a Beside who endures who's that is not gonna be hitting our Maskwood Nexus later, so I'm good with that, honestly. And now, actually, wait a minute, we got 5, 6, 7. Now we can flip Klex. We shock in that breeding pool, we get a Klex flip. First chapter, we mill 10 cards and just grab 2 creatures and put them on the field. That could be pretty great. So, honestly, I'm just going to go for it. Cannot be stopped. Here we go. Boom. See what we find. Show me something good. I'm not seeing any Etalis. That is unfortunate. Yep. Rona and Jake. That is underwhelming, to say the least. That said, we have the Moonmist live, and we don't have the... You know, we have Moonmist, and we don't have the Maskwood Nexus yet. That said, Nazgul are being Nazgul. They're being some total Nazholes, if I may say. And I don't appreciate it. So the Nazholes. Alright. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to take some chumps here, which it sucks, but it is what it is. Are we losing Jake or are we losing Rona? Jake has higher upside, so Rona, I'm sorry. Appreciate you, gonna miss you, but this is what we gotta do. All right. I'm just putting 7 freaking counters on Asika. Got a swole Asika up in here. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the draw action, do the thing. I'm gonna tuck Asika under here. I'm going to decline that. Oh, Bowmasters get to just be dumb. Sure, yep. This is what they do, though. They be dumb. They're gonna put a damage on Jake. Do they think I'm gonna draw again? For some reason? Because learning is for suckers. Well, I'm gonna play out that Triumph. That is honestly a worthy trade here. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna send it in. Let's see. They might just chump with the Orc army, is my guess. But yeah, if they trade it with the Nazgul, that's one Nazgul off the field that is gonna buff the crap out of their squad. So like, it's not fun. I'm not happy about that trade, but I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't willing to. So here we go. The final chapter on Vorinclex is not gonna be worth much, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Got another Nazgul, sure. Just doing their thing. Just being Nazgul. Honestly, the fact that these guys feed each other when they're live, like, I feel like value snowballs are what Wizards want. That seems to be their current design strategy, where everything just, if left unchecked, the numbers get to 1 million and can just absolutely dominate you. Which, honestly, I really like seeing numbers get to 1 million, preferably on my side, but at the end of the day, like, I get it, and it's fun, so cool. Ready, boo. We get to draw a discard. Which card? Discard. It's a dumb joke. I'm gonna keep making it. All right. So, yep, we're gonna Moonmist. Boop. Fog it. Hopefully this Hauken's Insight finds something good off the top of our deck. What do we got? Magda. Magda is something good. I like Magda. I really do. Not so much right here, though. In this situation, she's not really doing much for us. Yep. Did we go find 2 forests? Honestly, I do not believe we have enough. I don't think we just haven't. We just can't establish enough blockers here, I don't think. Although we could flip Klex again. We can flip Klex again and hopefully find Etali. I mean, might as well, right? Let's go. Spin the wheel. hopefully find Etali and then something. I don't even, like, past that, I'm hoping to find a board wipe off their deck. It's kind of where we're at right now. Which, that's asking a lot. We got an Etali. We got an Etali, and we got another Klex. So, let's go. When Klex thinning our library even further. Cool. Sometimes just what you gotta do. Why not? Why shouldn't I keep it? Witch King of Angmar and a free Maskwood Nexus. That's just nice. Cool. I can work with that. I can absolutely work with that. All right, and now let's establish Magda because the Witch King taps when you activate its ability. And so that's treasure, baby. Another Bowmasters. Fart. Okay. That is suboptimal. So, yep, Magda is toast already. Barely got started. Now she's a riggedy wrecked, son. All right. So we need to make sure that the Ring Bearer does not get through. So Klex gonna block there. Etali will block this other big one. Witch King's gonna block this little guy. Yeah, this is all very unfortunate, but there's just nothing we can do about it. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this. We do not need this many lands, especially shock lands. So let's just do that. Poppity pop, 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 pop. Actually, don't stop. All right. So they have sacrificed a creature that hit me, so I'm assuming the Orc army is gonna go. Yeah, now we have Hauken's Insight. We have... Oh, and the Ring Tempest. That's right. Yay. All right, cool. So let's see. What do we find? A land. That is not helpful in the slightest. Just 7 counters, because I love being excessive. It's my favorite thing. All right. We got a Prismatic Bridge. We got a Magda. And we've got a Sika. And we've got that entering the battlefield tapped, which is a big fat whatever. All right, so we have Vigilance here. So the Witch King might as well crash on in for 13 damage in the air, which is kind of insane, but let's go. Now, it looks like we're dead here. It looks like we are immediately dead to an all-out attack because we're at 1 health. The Maskwood Nexus, though, has the ability to produce a Changeling token that can then block for us. So if they send everything, we have the blockers in order to survive. So that's nice. Oh yeah, that can't block there. That can block there, though. We're gonna jump here, take that out, and actually, wait a minute. Strike that, flip it, and reverse it. We can block here. Asika survives, and then Magda trades with the Bowmasters. These are our blocks. Yes, I know. We're gonna go ahead and discard. Discard. Give Witch King Indestructible. And just like that, we live and we steal the game out of nowhere. Boy, howdy, that felt good. Witch King of Angmar coming off of our opponent's deck with the Etali is what it took. Sometimes you just gotta spin the wheel and hope for the best. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. This was a fun one full of all kinds of just silly nonsense, and it was absolutely a delight. So I want to give a huge thank you to the patrons who make this show possible. So I especially want to give a verbal shout out to the mythic patrons at the $10 level. That is Angry Jellyfish, Bunyip, Else89, Carl Ligon, Ryan, Velrith, X of Most Trades, and Yuck Foozy. Your generosity really is amazing. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And you, dear viewer, if you want to support for as little as $1 a month, it really helps. So thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one.